Welcome to the Kaiser Permanente Santa Clara Community Medicine Fellowship. I'm Danny Sam, the Program Director of the Fellowship. I'm also the Program Director of the Internal Medicine Residency Program, Director of Medical Education at Santa Clara, Assistant Dean of the Boston University Kaiser Permanente Silicon Valley Regional Campus, as well as the clinical faculty at Stanford and the new Kaiser School of Medicine. For 31 years, I've contributed to the medical education and trained future physicians to make a difference to patient care and clinical practice. Kaiser Permanente is at the forefront in delivering outstanding care to the population we serve and also to the vulnerable population. I'd like to welcome you and hope that you will join our phenomenal program. We need a person like you who can make a difference to the community. Why do we have this fellowship? We think that through our model of care and training the future physicians, we hope to impact our community in a positive way. Let me tell you a little bit about the region or county we serve. County Santa Clara is composed to about 2 million people over 1,291 square miles. It's a very big county. Demographically, we serve a wide range of patients. Even though the median age is about 37, over 21% are over 60, and they consume about 70% of the healthcare. We are diverse, where Asian and Latino makes up about 63%. We also have an Indian tribe in the county. About 6% of the population are below the poverty line, while 8% of the seniors are below the poverty line. Over 40% are foreign-born, mainly from Asia and Latin America. Kaiser Permanente at Santa Clara has a long history in medical education and have been a leading force of innovation and change in healthcare delivery and its strong ties to the community. I'd like to introduce you to Joetta Meyer, the Associate Program Director, and Joseph Vu, the Assistant Program Director, who will tell us more about the fellowship program. I welcome you and hope to meet you soon.
Hi, my name is Joetta Meyer, and I'm one of the co-directors of the Community Medicine Fellowship here at Kaiser Santa Clara. It's our first year of the program, so we're really excited to get started. I wanted to introduce myself and just talk a little bit about the program itself. So in terms of me, I'm a primary care physician at Kaiser Santa Clara, and I'm one of the associate program directors for the internal medicine residency. I'm in charge of the outpatient side of the residency, so the continuity clinics for the residents, and I'm also director of our choice primary care track, as well as co-director of our community medicine track, both of which have been very involved in the community for several years now. And in terms of what motivated me to get involved in this, I have to say it has most to do with my upbringing. I just was raised to believe that community service is part of life. I went to Catholic schools my whole life. My family was always involved in serving the community, and I'm trying to bring my kids up the same way. So, we do various things from volunteering at food distribution centers to making health equipment for healthcare workers to making snack packs for homeless. Just trying to bring up my kids to understand that service is just part of life. And with my other family, which is Kaiser Santa Clara, I feel strongly that I need to help in any way I can to instill in the next generation of physicians that service is also part of being a physician. So from little things like having our residents give educational talks at our partner homeless shelter, to helping develop this community medicine track where we have our residents do dual continuity clinics, one in the community and one at Kaiser, and do some sort of project to help improve quality of care at the community clinics. I'm eager to do whatever I can to instill those values in tomorrow's physicians. So I'm extremely excited to be involved in any way that I can to help develop a fellow with the same values, and assist you in any way that I can to make your education as great as it can be. So in terms of the fellowship itself, we decided to use the theme of leadership, and that can be interpreted in various different ways. The ideal person for this fellowship would be someone who wants to be a leader in one of several capacities. That could be leadership in medical education, someone who wants to fill a role like myself or my partner Joe Vu, helping train another generation of physicians in community service, or someone who wants to lead a community clinic itself, someone who wants to start a clinic, be a real groundbreaker in their own community, or someone who wants to be involved in leading from a public health standpoint. So along those lines of creating as many options as we can, we have created a curriculum with a little bit of flexibility in it. So as you can see by looking at kind of an average week in this fellowship, there's several components. One is the community clinics themselves, and we're going to talk a little bit about the nature of those clinics, but primarily you would be working at our Roots Clinic in San Jose and at our Bach network of clinics in San Jose, Bay Area Community Health. You would also have time for administrative duties, and that would include your project for the regional aspect of the fellowship, attending regional lectures. But then also we've built in a little bit of elective time, and that is where you can tell us what you want. So for example, if you really wanted to eventually start a clinic, what we would have you do during that elected time is work with the business leaders in our free clinics. So, working with the financial people, working with the physician leads, figuring out what does it take to start and run a free clinic. If your interest was more in public health, we would have you spend that time working with our regional Kaiser folks who determine in broad strokes what the public health decisions are going to be for all of Kaiser Santa Clara. Because as you probably know, Kaiser has such a huge market penetrance in California that when Kaiser makes a decision, it is basically a public health decision. You can also work with our regulators in Sacramento. We have an elective for that. And also attend our leadership series, which is developed for leaders within the Kaiser Permanente system. If you wanted to focus more on education, then you can use that time to help develop curriculum for our internal medicine residents. So basically, a lot of community service, working with the free clinics, but also an ability to create an education in leadership for yourself. That being said, I did want to talk a little bit about our clinics themselves. I'm going to talk about the Roots Clinic, and then my partner Jovu is going to talk a little bit about the Bach Network. So our Roots Clinic is one that we have several of our internal medicine residents currently rotating at. It's located in San Jose. The population for this particular clinic is primarily African American, and the clinic strives to be not only a medical center but a cultural center for these folks, to kind of create a safe place and a home for them. The folks who work there are extremely passionate and excited about the work they do, and our residents who've been rotating there absolutely love it. They do a dual clinic there and at Kaiser Santa Clara, and have been having a fantastic experience, as I'm sure you would as well. And with that, I'm going to hand things over to my colleague Joe. Bye-bye.
Hello, I'm Joseph Vu, one of the assistant program directors for our internal medicine residency program here at Kaiser Santa Clara. I also happen to be an endocrinologist for the group, and now it's my pleasure and privilege to be able to work with Dr. Sam, Dr. Meyer, the rest of our core faculty, GME, and regional leadership to develop our community medicine program. I grew up here in the South Bay in San Jose specifically, and I'm first generation as my parents immigrated here from Vietnam in 1975. And over subsequent years, my extended family were sponsored to come here as well. And growing up, I witnessed my father, who himself was a practicing physician in Vietnam. I witnessed him really help the rest of my family navigate the healthcare system to meet their many medical needs. It was this and the spirit of service to others instilled in me by my parents and my upbringing and my education that ultimately informed many decisions for me to become really involved in community health. And this began in my undergraduate years as I volunteered and eventually got a job at one of our local community medicine clinics here in San Jose. It was this passion of service for others that informed my decision to pursue internal medicine. And after my residency in my chief year, I myself became a community medicine fellow in New York City before embarking on my endocrine fellowship, and then ultimately landing me here at Kaiser Santa Clara, right in the bed of where I grew up. In fact, it was the relationships that I built in my undergrad years with these community health sites that allowed me to bridge a relationship with Foothill Family Clinics, and those clinics have now been absorbed by Bay Area Community Health, and together they service more than 100,000 people in the community who rely on high quality healthcare services regardless of immigration status, ethnicity, disabilities, or ability to pay. In 2019, Bach provided care for nearly 90,000 members with nearly 500,000 patient visits. Here within our program, we will be more involved with caring for patients in the Bach South community clinics, which is comprised of 8 different clinical sites. We will work more closely with 2 out of these 8 clinical sites, our Monterey Road Clinic and also our White Road Clinic. Here over my shoulder, you'll find some statistics about the breakdown of patients that we do see here at Bach. And as a fellow, you will be seeing patients at these community sites and also overseeing our residents as they rotate through our community medicine clinics during their rotation. We're also partnered with Life Moves in San Jose. Our residents do visit 2 of the sites that are under the umbrella of Life Moves, are Julian Street Inn and the Montgomery Street Inn. The Julian Street Inn houses roughly 85 individuals nightly. 11 of those spots are reserved for veterans. The Montgomery Street Inn, which is located a mere 3-minute walk from the Julian Street site, houses 90 single men, provides them with veterans services, medical care and case management, to provide them with things like clothes and interview skills to hopefully seek gainful employment to sustain and support themselves. Our medical residents do travel to these sites on a monthly basis to provide educational, informative talks, to provide sustainable, practical ways to attain and maintain better health. And as a community medicine fellow, you would be overseeing and precepting these talks, visiting these sites to provide additional support, and just to simply engage with the residents at these sites. So Joetta and I have just spent a few moments to review some of our community medicine engagements. We're going to continue to work to extend our skills and resources to the greater community, hopefully with your collaboration as our future community medicine fellow. Thanks so much.